What is going on, guys? Phil here from Phil's Craft Corner. Today we are building this pretty awesome sleigh. This sleigh was built in a couple of days. This video is going to showcase the whole build. I'm going to talk through it all. So it's a little bit long, it's probably about half an hour. I'm going to show you some results at the end of the sleigh being dragged from Fleetwood docks down to Starr all along the Fylde coast. We gave out some presents to kids. Tom was super excited to have this sleigh and everybody had a good time. So let's get into the video. Grab yourself a cup of tea, enjoy the whole thing. Alright, so the first step was to put together the poster picture printout that I did. These were on A4 sheets, so it took quite a lot. It was the same method that I did for the dinosaur chalkboard that I did, and yeah, it took a little while, but we got there in the end. This doesn't need to be exactly lined up everywhere, just good enough so that I can use it as a template to be able to cut out the general shape.
Right guys, so I've got this set out, ready to cut out. I've just taped all of the edges. I've cut it roughly trimmed to where the edge of the design starts, and then I've got 2 inches of tape anyway, so that's fine. I'm going to do all these centre parts first. These holes here, I'm not using these were just from the design that I downloaded, and then I'm just going to add some freebie too. I wasn't happy with the amount of space from the original design, because this is going to be a seat for people to sit on. I think that's about the right size, but like your knees are going to be popping out the top, and this needs to be filled with as many toys as possible. So I created a curve going across the top there. So instead of this coming down as an inward curve, it's now an outward curve. So you can still step in and out here, but there's going to be an extra 6 to 8 inches of space there. So that's going to be better for putting toys in and things like that. So I'm going to set up the time lapse again. I'm going to cut all this out, and then hopefully I'll have the template for the next sleigh. So let's crack on.
To cut this out, I used my jigsaw. This is my Guild jigsaw that I've had for around 15 years. It's sometimes difficult to work with. If I had thought about it, I could have brought my spray adhesive, but I was in a bit of a rush. This was, honestly, I had 2 days to get this built and painted and dropped off at the place, so everything was rushed on this job. If I'd have remembered, I'd have brought my spray glue and held this down better. Holding it down with the tape was not ideal. The paper kept folding up underneath the shoe of the jigsaw, making it much more difficult than it needed to be. Again, with the jigsaw being as old as it is, there's not that much control with it. It's very difficult to use. I was using Wick's own scroll cut jigsaw blades. They worked pretty well. I needed to use 5 blades in total though, because they went dull very quickly, but other than that it was alright. It went fairly smoothly. Needed a little bit of help from a partner to hold it in certain positions, but like I say, other than that it was pretty smooth going, and we managed to get it done.
So now I've used the other one as a template. I've gone around, just traced it off the old one. I don't know if you can see it. I can see it okay, so that's the more important part. We come back with the jigsaw, not that one though. Just got myself a new one. Well, new to me. I just picked this up from Cash Converters. It's one of the pawn shops that's nearby. It's just a Parkside barrel grip jigsaw. I've wanted one of these for a little while, and I've never really justified being able to pick one up, because the 15-year-old Guild one that I had did the job. Now, it's still kind of doing the job, but the issue I'm facing is, can you see the twist on that blade? That's terrible. It's because this roller, it doesn't hold it anymore, and this shoots out and it ends up bending and getting caught either side. I cannot even force it into that position. So it gets caught either side of this roller, and that gives me much less control. So I'm hoping with a new one we'll have more control, and we'll be able to cut more accurately. There's going to be less issues with curves, hopefully. I'm going to see. So I have treated myself. It's got a nice long cord compared to This one you can already see just bundled up that cord's much bigger. Dust extractor port's pretty good. It's got a plastic foot on the bottom, which I think is interchangeable by the looks of things. It has, this is bent from whoever owned it. I'm probably never going to use this anyway because they're just, I don't need a jigsaw for cutting a line. It's got a laser on it. It's got quick release blade, so you just fold up that guard and you can just push this back and get the blade in there. What else we got? We've got a blower, variable speed on the back. So these apparently are easier to control as you're going around. So we'll see. We'll give it a go.
Honestly, this new jigsaw made things so much easier, and the fact that I didn't have the paper stuck to the top to roll underneath the shoe, it was just so much easier to control, easier to hold, much more comfortable. The dust blower really works well to get the dust out of the way of the lines. Just honestly, should have made this decision years ago.
Alright, so I've got the second one cut out here. That other jigsaw, so much easier to use, much nicer. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to place just some 3x2s. I'm going to put a piece here, I'm going to put a piece going up the back, and then another piece up the front. That way I know where I'm going to lay out things. I might put this one on an angle this way, because again, that gives a little bit more storage and a bit more leg room for people that are actually sitting in here. So this piece was an offcut from something, so it's absolutely perfect size to go across the bottom. Then what I can do is I can mark where they're going to go. I can lay both the pieces together, drill all the pilot holes through, and then I can screw them in on their respective sides. That way, when I come to lay on the boards that are going to sit in the middle, I'm probably going to use MDF because I think that's what I've got spare anyway. I've got some OSB spare in the car, so I might use some of that. Especially for the bottom, I might use MDF for the back bits. It doesn't matter, you're not going to be able to tell when it's painted, but you know, it's saving material costs and it's what I've got spare, so that's what I'm using.
I was really tempted to not include this section in the video, but I wanted you guys to see just how much I struggled with space for this project. I'm in the middle of moving workshops from this big workshop into a smaller workshop, and then doing this project made me really think, did I really want to move into a smaller workshop, or do I want to keep the big workshop? And I really want to keep the big workshop.
Alright, so this is going to be a rough layout of the sleigh. So I've cut all of these double because I need them both sides, and these are going to sit sideways like so that I've got the maximum amount of space inside the sleigh. And I think that is going to be my layout. I'll bring this one back a little bit. You guys can actually see better than I can from up there. We're not going for anything spectacular or special with this. We're just going for function. There's a bit of form there. It does look pretty, but yeah. So it's basically going to be like that. We're going to have vertical pieces coming here. So I'm going to mark where these are on this one. Then on the next one, I'm going to have to just put them both as aligned as I can get them because they're not exactly the same. And then we're going to drill the pilot holes through each one. That way I know where these alignments are going to be on both of them, and I can just screw these pieces in, then get the boards that are going to go across the middle cut, and then I can glue and screw them in, and should be pretty much nearly built then. I need to put a little seat in here for people to sit in, but I can do that after this step. So, marking these out, I'm going to mark both sides, that way I can just fit in the middle. It says with a marker pen that's run out of ink. Try again. If I was doing multiple of these all the time, then I would measure all this out and have everything perfect. But since it's just basically a one-off, it needs to be strong so that we can use it on the prom. It's not that important for measurements and everything to be exact. Plus, it's kind of a rush job. This has to be finished in a couple of days. I've got today and tomorrow to finish this off now, so yeah, not a great amount of time, but I'm pretty sure I'll manage. Okay. Right, they're all drilled right through. I probably should have put the clamps on in the first place, but hey ho, we're there. Yeah, so now I can glue and screw the 3x2s onto each of these, measure the size that we want with the depth that we want. We'll cut all those pieces in. So yeah, let's crack on with that bit. Alright, so I've got two of these now glued and screwed in to the frame. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut this bottom piece first. That's the most important piece. Then I can stand this up, screw them in to place, and then I can measure out the two side pieces, get those cut, and then they can screw into place. So that'll be the easiest way for me to have that done. Right, so I've got that piece cut. I'm going to clamp it in place here and put some screws in from the top. It's going to be quite a task, really. Because it's heavy. And we're getting very big now, so you're not going to get to see at all above me. The other side will be much easier because I'll be above it. Right, so that's screwed in place. I need to now stand that up and then slide the other one into place and lift this panel onto that one on the other one, which is going to be absolute pain in the backside. Right, move the camera out of the way and let's try and do this. Try and ignore all the mess in my workshop now because you can see everything. That's heavy. Whose idea was it to make it this big? Oh yeah. Mine. You've got it. No. If I had that lined up properly, it'd probably been okay. Have a bit of a walk around. So this is 4 foot high, 8 foot long. Well, it's over 4 foot wide, but it's only an inch over 4 foot wide. And yeah, that was effort getting that piece in. I was so nervous about this piece or this piece falling off and things, especially at the bottom breaking. But we're good. Just need to get the front panel on and the back panel on, and we will be golden. Right, so I've had to stand on a ladder to get most of this done. I've got the front and the back pieces in, cut, they're all supported. I put these 2 braces on the front because quite a lot of people are probably going to be stood there. Back's not as important because I'm putting a bench seat across there anyway, so they're not going to be stood at that back bit. They're going to be, the bench is going to be taking the weight of the people, so I'm going to have supports on the side, across the back, and then a vertical piece as well, so that's going to be absolutely solid. It's good. I've climbed in here, I've laid down in it, I've had a little rest because honestly getting these 2 pieces up and in place, because this is on my workbench, it's a nightmare. If I had all the space over that side, which you can see it's just junk, that's where I'd assembled this preferably. So I'm going to get that bench seat in, then it's a sand, a fill and a prime, and we're pretty much good to go. Alright, so I managed to get the seat in, as you can see, it's just here. It's pretty good, solid. Put an L bracket at the bottom there just to stop the middle of this pushing down. Same with those 2. And now it's just on to filling all of the holes, smoothing off this. So I'm just going to put some filler all across this so all of the unevenness is gone. And yeah, we'll put a bead across the bottom here, just seal it all in, and then we're ready for painting. So I'm going to crack on with that. Partner's probably going to help me, but yeah, quick as we can, because we've got to paint this tonight and tomorrow day. So yeah, hopefully it's done.
So I went around and I filled in all of the edge gaps with some caulk ready for painting, smoothed all that off. My partner went round and started with the filler on the outside edges. If I did this project again, which I'm probably going to do next year, I wouldn't use OSB. I did it because it was lighter and it was cheaper, but in the end it just took so long to get this filler on, sand it smooth and try and get a smooth finish. It didn't really work out as well as I thought it would, but like I say, next time I will use plywood and have those smooth face boards, and it'll just save a couple of hours of time really.
So we covered all of the sides. We've not done the inside, it's not as important. The inside would be fine, just painting, but we've done all the outsides on both sides. Ran out of the white filler, so we ended up using a brown filler, but same thing. So while that's drying, I'll come and sand the inside. This side's basically dry already with how long this took, so then once the inside's sanded, I can sand this side, break all of these edges as well so they're not as sharp for little hands, and then we're on to painting. So today hopefully I'll get an undercoat, maybe 2 undercoats, and yeah, looking good so far. Super happy.
So I just started going around this with my orbital sander. and 120 grit. I went and broke all of the edges, went and sanded all of the surfaces as smooth as possible, ready for painting. You're going to see a couple of jump cuts from here in progress because my camera started dying and I started to run out of time, and honestly setting it up and hitting record just took too long and I just wanted to get done. This is part way through. I'd already done the undercoat on the inside and now I'm coming back to the outside doing undercoat too. I'm using Zinza 123 primer and undercoat for this. I ended up only doing one coat of undercoat because it went on so well. Then I came back with the red. Like I say, you're going to see some jump cuts in the progress. This is called Signal Red and it's from Johnson's. Picked that up locally and it was the perfect colour. I masked off the bottom because the bottom's going to be gold, and then I came back and I just rolled all along with my Rolling Dogs rollers. They are still going strong, they're still doing really well. After that it was on to doing the gold. Again, this is Johnson's. This is just called Glittery Gold, I think. I'll stick links to everything down below anyway. I went around all of this with a brush for the first coat. I kind of regret that. I should have done it with a roller from the start because all of the brush strokes just showed up really badly in the metallic paint. After I came back and did another 2 coats with a roller, it just looks really, really good. So if you're using this gold paint or some kind of metallic paint, I suggest either spraying or rollering. I wish I could have sprayed this, but as you can tell, there's not a lot of space. So maybe I can use my sprayer next time.
Alright guys, I think I am done with the sleigh. Gold looks really good down here. The red, still drying out a little bit. We've got varnish to put on this, but we're going to do that after it's been transported. And the wheels are put on the bottom because we've got a car transporter to come in to pick this up. So we can get strapped to the back of that. So when it gets to its destination for the wheels, because the fabricator's doing all the wheels, then we might do some touch-ups and then put the varnish on afterwards. We've still got a week till the event, so all good. Really happy with that red. Come out really nice. And then this side, the gold. Everything on there. The gold, putting this on with a roller rather than a brush has given me a much better finish than putting the brush on there. Get rid of that dust and you can see better. Yeah, so it's come out alright. The inside I've not done as detailed on the inside than the outside because you're not going to see much of the inside, but the bracing bars across the back, done them gold as well, and then you got the red across there. So we're all done. Tomorrow I might get the camera set up for when Tom comes and picks this up so I can get a reaction from him and you guys can see how happy he is with it. So yeah, I'm super happy, he's probably super happy with it, and then I'll get a final video of everything all put together, all touch-ups, all glossed, wheels on, and the thing in action on the event, which is next Monday. So yeah, happy, looks good, cool.
Okay, so this is Tom's reaction to first seeing the sleigh.
Good.
Look at that!
Hope you're feeling
Oh,
strong.
it's beautiful. What?
Hope you're feeling strong.
No. I'm never feeling strong. Oh, look at it. You're right.
Don't know if you'll see it.
And then I managed to get a few shots of the sleigh in action. I ended up being one of the people pushing and steering the sleigh. I was roped into that. So we spent 7 hours walking down the promenade, handing out presents. We stopped at Blackpool's Winter Wonderland area, handed out a few presents there. And you'll see as the day goes on, we look more and more tired as we get further and further down the promenade. It was so much fun. I enjoyed doing the whole thing. It was hard work, but it's all for an absolutely amazing cause. These guys, Fylde Kids Foundation, they give out so much help to all the underprivileged kids all along the Fylde coast. While we were doing the sleigh pull, there was a team handing out like care packages and hampers to families that were struggling at Christmas. They made sure as many kids as possible had presents, and that was what the whole thing was all about. I'm so proud to be able to sponsor this, give them the sleigh, and help out in the whole process. In the end, we were so tired, we were soaking wet, it was cold, it was miserable, but we did it. We got to the end, and that's what it was all about. So I'd like to thank every single one of you guys for watching this video, everyone that joins in with everything I do, all of my followers. You're all absolutely amazing. Thank you for watching this, thanks for joining in. Go check out Fylde Kids Foundation, and I will see you in the next video.